So this video is going to be about keycaps, and I have keycaps all over my floor now. So as some of you know, we do a lot of keyboard reviews here, right? And in some of those keyboard reviews, I tend to change out the keycaps. Even if the keycaps that are on the board are perfectly fine, I just like change them. Number one, sometimes just for the cosmetic appearance of it, which is why a lot of us change them, right? But on some boards, they just have those basic ABS keycaps, so we want to put on some nice double shot PBT caps. Now, I also did some standalone reviews on some of these keycaps as far as the HyperX ones over here, the Razer PBT Keycaps, and then these Matrix Keycaps. I did standalone reviews on these, so if you're interested in any of those particular sets, you can go check out those videos as well. I'll leave them right down in the description. But what we're going to be talking about here today is number one, the HyperX Pudding PBT Keycaps over here. We have the white and the black. We also have the newly released Razer Double Shot PBT Keycaps. These things are fantastic. Coming in at only 30 bucks. They come in a Razer green, quartz white, the pink, and then also the standard black right there. And these fit on any Razer keyboard as far as their little bottom row and everything. I love this keycap set right here. And we have the newly released HK Gaming PBT Die Sub Keycaps. These things are absolutely sharp. I believe they're only at 25 bucks, and you actually apply a coupon on them right now. Over here we have the Matrix keyboard PBT keycaps again. I'm not going to be installing these today, but I did a review, and I actually installed them, I believe, on a Ducky 1-2 Mini and then the And Pro 2. I'll leave that video right down below because they look pretty sharp on that board right there. And then also we have some just basic keycaps from Amazon, these basic little $20 sets you see down there. And are they any good? And as you see right down here, I also have some basic keycaps and a lot of Ducky keycaps down here as well. Alright, so now that we got a little bit of space here, the three keyboards we're going to actually be using these keycaps on are three of my favorite boards. Number one, the recently released HyperX Alloy Core Origins board. We also have the Durgods Hades 68. If y'all seen this review, y'all know I love this keyboard here. This thing is incredibly solid. You need to go check out this review here. Awesome keyboard. And then we also have one of my other favorites here, and this keyboard I just cannot get away from. I absolutely love it, and that is the Razer Black Widow TE. I just love this stinking board, and we don't have any more room on our table here. You know what? Let's just go on and they're already on the floor, right? We already got a whole bunch on the floor, so there we go. I got a serious mess to clean up. As I stated, three of my absolute favorite boards right here, and they all come with sprayed ABS keycaps. So ABS keycaps, are they that bad? I gotta say, it's maybe a personal preference thing. Eventually down the road, I mean, it'll take a while. It's not like you're gonna plug your keyboard in next month and they're gonna be ruined. Not at all. They'll probably last you a year, probably longer, I guess, depending on how you're using it, right? You might notice it more on your WASD where you're constantly using it all the time, right? But as far as ABS keycaps, a lot of them just have that matte sprayed finish right there. And they really pick up fingerprints, grease marks, and everything. I mean, they start looking pretty grimy after a while. But more importantly, again, going back to the WASD and say your spacebar and stuff, or your main keys, they're gonna start getting really shiny after a while, and then some of your legends will start fading eventually. That's way on down the road. You'll notice them start shining before the legends start fading and all that, you know what I mean? But again, it just looks tacky and cheap after you start getting that really gloss on your main keys. Secondly, on ABS keycaps right here, if you're like me, I get a little sweaty in my gaming moments, right? I get some slippery fingers, you know. I also live in a pretty hot, humid climate down here in the south, you know. So yeah, when I'm gaming, my fingers can get a little slippery. I mean, they're not slipping and sliding all over the place, you know what I mean? But sometimes if I'm on my W right there, I'll feel it just slide a little bit forward. I mean, my fingers aren't all over the board by any means, but you do notice it a little bit. Now going to say a PBT keycap right here. A lot of them have this little texture on the top of them. It's not like sandpaper or anything rough like that by any means, you know what I mean? Feels almost like, say, like a top of a desk, for example, you know? You feel a few bumps right there, but again, they just don't get slippery over time and build up all that grease right there. Again, you got that little bit of texture right there, and it just kind of keeps you in place a little bit better. Now, when you go to double shot PBT keycaps right here, you have two layers. Number one, your outer color layer, and then inside is usually that layer where your color is going to shine through, your LED or RGB is going to shine through with your legend or whatever you have there for your shine through RGB on your keycap. Now, talking about that double layer right there, going to a PBT keycap, they are incredibly strong. Now, some brands vary one to the other, you know what I mean? But they are very strong, very hard to bend, very tough to twist and everything. Now, going back to the ABS keycap right here, I mean, look at this guy go. Like, I'm not even trying hard. It's just a cheap piece of plastic right here. So you might be asking yourself, well, why the heck do these brands put these ABS keycaps on their boards? We're talking Razer, right? Durgod, we're talking HyperX, even going into Corsair, a lot of big companies here. Why are they using these junky keycaps? And I was really curious about this myself as well. So I asked the company, I said, why do you guys do this? You know what I mean? And they told me straight up, it's not a money issue. It's not that ABS is cheaper than PBT. Now I can't speak of that myself. I don't know. I don't see any of those manufacturer numbers or anything, but that's what they told me. They said ABS is no cheaper than PBT keycaps. But why they use the ABS is for the shine through, and as far as your legend, it's just crystal clear and very crispy. Every key looks solid across the entire board right there, because again, they just got to spray that clear piece of plastic right there with your legend. So every single key looks incredibly crispy and balanced and very vibrant across every key. So I think they're just using these because, you know, we're still in that RGB craze. And talking about double shot PBT keycaps here, as far as ABS having a really vibrant, balanced RGB going across the entire board, when you get into PBT keycaps, some of your keys, they'll be like, say for example, if you're looking at like a P or one of the letters on the board right there, it'll be a little bit darker at the top than the bottom. I mean, I'm talking mild, not major by any means. Like, you got to really look down and close at it to really spot it. But again, they'll be a little bit spotty here and there because again, you got two molds going through right there. So you got to match that legend right up with the mold on the other key, rather than with the ABS, bam, you just spraying it and it's going to be balanced all the way across. So again, that's where it comes into personal preference. Are you really into that best looking RGB, crispy, clear RGB that you can get? Or do you want that durability and that better feel? All right, so let's get to the fun part here, and that's gonna be the installation and the results. As far as the HyperX Alloy Core Origins 10 keyless keyboard over here, we're gonna go with the HyperX Keycaps with the white and the black ones on it. So we'll get a little creative with that. That should be pretty cool. With the Durgod Haze 68 over here, we're gonna go with the newly released HK Gaming Die-Sub Keycaps. That should look really cool on that board right there. Now coming over to the Razer Black Widow TEV2, we're gonna go with the Razer Double Shot PBT keycaps in the white. Now I'm not going to make you have to sit here and watch me install these, so don't worry about that. But what I am going to do for you when we're going through each of them, again, we're going to start number 1 with the HyperX, number 2 with the Durgod Haze, and number 3 with the Razer. But what I'm going to do for you first, I'm going to give you a sound test with the stock keycaps on it, right? And then I'm going to also let you see the RGB with the stock keycaps. Then I'm going to go ahead and install them, come back with you, and we're going to do a sound test with the newly installed keycaps, and then also check out the RGB with the installed keycaps, just so we can kind of see the results, you know, before and after in all different scenarios as far as RGB and the sound test. But all right, let me go ahead and get started on this. This is gonna take me a while. Real quick, before I get started on this, I also want to let you know one other thing. You usually get two different types of keycap pullers right here. Your basic plastic one, that's gonna go down around your keycap, bam, and pull it out. Quite easy to use, actually. Then you get your wire prong one right over here, which you kind of got to spread out, bam, lock it under your key, and then pull it out. Now, the nice thing about the wired one is it's not gonna scratch your keycap right there. So you can pull it out really nice and balanced. Now, when you go with this one, again, very easy to use. Bam, snap it down there, pull it right out, super easy, but it does scratch your keycap. So just take it easy on those. I tend to use the wire ones the majority of the time now. All right, so what did you guys think about the results right there as far as the different boards and the different caps? I think they are all absolutely gorge. So anyways, as far as our results on all three boards, again, HyperX on the HyperX Alloy Core Origins, HK Gaming Die-Sub Keycaps on the Durgot Hades, in the newly released Razer Double Shot PBT Keycaps in the Mercury White on our Black Widow TE V2. But now let's go ahead and talk about the results and the outcome as far as each keycap on each different board. And real quick, all these keycaps can work on each board. You can put these on any mechanical board. If you got Altimu, Kale, anything like that, they got the little stem on the end, you can fit any of these keys on them. But let's go on and start right over here with the HyperX Double Shot PBT Pudding Keycaps. They look incredibly awesome on this board. I really like the way these look. I mean, it just brings the board to life. Check it out without the RGB on. I think that looks incredibly cool, just really slick, nice custom look. And the cool thing about these caps is not even just the look about them, right? It really becomes yours. As far as your creation, like your piece of art right there, you're kind of connected to it. Like, wow, I created this, this is mine, you know what I mean? So again, as far as the HyperX one, the RGB is very vibrant on it, looks incredibly cool. I put my background as a red LED back there, so it's pretty cool. I got the white keycaps, the black keycaps, and then bam, with the red in the background. If we can swap that right over here, just because you can see that again. Looks kind of orange in the lights and everything, but how about that? That is incredibly awesome. Now, as great as the HyperX keycaps look right here, there is a downfall. You lose some of your shortcuts as far as it state and enter or caps lock on your keys right there. As far as your shortcuts, you lose your media keys, and as far as your brightness keys, actually on the Alloy Core Origins right here, you have 3 different profiles up here. As you saw me just switch it to the red right there, you actually lose that notification up there. So if you get these keycaps in this board the same day, bam, and you swap them out, you're not gonna know what your shortcuts are. I've been using the Origins for a little while now, so I know what the majority of my keycaps are, and I don't swap them around that much, you know what I mean? But it is a stinker that you lose those shortcuts on there in those notifications as far as on your function row, and then again it's stating caps and enter, stuff like that. But again, you can also take that the other way as a pro right there, because again, if you put this on any board, you're not gonna have those dedicated HyperX shortcuts on, say, your Razer board or your Corsair board or something like that, right? You got this basic layout right here that bam, you can put on any single board, and you don't have this branded HyperX type of shortcuts and everything that you're gonna be putting on your Corsair board or something like that. Other pros as far as the HyperX keycaps, number one, they look fantastic, but they're also the cheapest out of the bunch right here. I believe right now you can get them around 17. I actually picked mine up around 15. I think usually they're around 20 to 25. So even basic MSRP at 25 bucks, they're still the cheapest out of any of these, and they're fantastic. Now let's go on and talk about the newly released HK Gaming Die-Sub PBT Keycaps right here. Die-Sub is probably some of my favorite keycaps right there. I'm not a really big, bright, vibrant RGB kind of guy where I got all these lights flashing around my room like I'm at the disco or something, you know what I mean? So I really like this, especially how the RGB is just subtle back there behind the keycaps. I don't know, I just really like that. It's really cool. It's not really out there in your face. As far as the colors on the keycaps, it's got to be personal preference. Again, me, I'm a black, white, and red kind of guy. So as far as these bright colors here, I don't know. I know that's a really big thing right now. People like these big, bright, vibrant colors. So hey, these have it right here. And again, as far as Die-Sub keycaps, I love them. Also these, let me bring it in here and see if you can see a little bit better. These HK Gaming ones, check out that font right there. Some people might not be into that, but I love it. It's just really bold and it's right there. I love the way this looks. I really think these keycaps would look fantastic on, say, a Ducky 1-2 Mini or something. I really like the style of these. Now, again, as great as the HK Gaming keycaps look right here, there are some cons as well. Talking about the Durgot and HK Gaming Hades 68 right down here, you have that funky layout. You have these other shortcuts over here, and then that function row right down there. And the crazy thing, again, how HK Gaming had a hand within the Hades 68 right here, you'd figure they'd have all the keycaps to fit that board right down here, but they don't. So it's kind of a stinker. Again, I know the Hades 68, they got these, or the 65% keyboards, they got that real funky layout, so it's really hard to find keys for this board in the first place. But again, I was just kind of thinking, hey, HK Gaming had a hand in this, they're making their keycaps, they'd make the option for them to fit right there. That would have been great. Now, as far as in this box, you have plenty of options to fit a full size, a 60%, or a 10 keyless board, you know what I mean? But again, going to that 65% board, any brand out there, it's just hard to find keycaps keycaps for a 65% board. Now, one last thing about the HK Gaming Keycaps here, they're not a bad price either. I believe on Amazon they're around 25 bucks, and right now they have like a 10% coupon right there, so an absolute fantastic deal on these great keycaps as well. Now jumping over to the Razer Double Shot PBT Keycaps on our Black Widow TEV2 right here. I love these keycaps. Some of my favorite. They're coming in at 30 bucks right here. Again, multiple color options with the white, the black, the green, and the pink. I think those green ones will look absolutely awesome. Of course, again, black, white, red right here, so I can't use the green ones. Hey Razer, if you're listening to this, can we get some of these made in red, please? Please? Now the coolest thing about these Razer Double Shot PBT keycaps right here is they will fit any Razer keyboard, even with that funky bottom row right down there with the small function and all that stuff, you know. And with the Black Widow TEV2 being one of my main boards right now, absolutely in love with these Razer yellow switches, it is so cool to be able to have a set that will fit across the complete board. And these are some incredibly solid keycaps, and they really bring that RGB to life. I mean, check out how awesome and vibrant that is. Again, with the light right above it right here, I mean, it looks incredibly awesome and they feel fantastic. Also in this box over here, you get some extra stabilizers for these basic mechanical switches or their optical switches right there. Really cool that they include those in there. But again, there's gotta be one downfall, right? Along with every single set we have here. And the downfall on the Razer Double Shot PBT keycaps is they do have the Razer shortcuts printed on them right up top here. Kind of the downfall we said about the HyperX one. The Razer ones have it, but again, I'm also gonna state that, hey, that could be a downfall, because say I wanna put these Razer PBT keycaps on my HyperX keyboard. They're gonna fit, and they're gonna fit great and feel great. But again, I'm gonna have those Razer shortcuts right up there as far as the brightness and everything. When the brightness is down here on the HyperX keyboard, on the arrows, it's up here on a Razer. So it's gonna be kind of weird having those shortcuts on a different board that doesn't have the same layout as the Razer board. But again, every single set of these keycaps will fit on just about any and every mechanical keyboard. So hey, let me know what's your favorite set of keycaps and what's your favorite layout that we did on the boards right here. And if you have any really cool custom keyboard layouts as far as your keycaps and everything like that, shoot some pictures over on Twitter at the Techni1. I'd love to see what layouts you have and the style and everything. Let's just share them with the community here. I think that'd be really cool. So definitely tweet me some pictures of your custom keyboard. But hey, thank you so much for stopping by and watching this one. I hope I answered a few of your questions if you had any about keycaps and what's the difference right here. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for some future tech videos. I gotta go pick up all these keycaps now. So let's say put in, you got that 2 layers right there. So you got your basic color. Again, these come in white and black up here. And then you have your shine through right through the bottom. And then it shines through your legend up on the top. But now, one thing about these HyperX ones in general right here, I haven't used any other put in keycaps. These are the only ones I've used. But as you can see, you got your shine through layer right there. And then your second layer, the double shot, is just that black layer up there. So as you can see, again, you have the white layer and you can see where the black starts right in there, which is just right there. So you do have a bit of flex on the outside of these things. They don't feel as durable as, say, a basic double shot PBT keycap. So you do have some flex and they feel a little bit lighter, but they do look great for some RGB. Next up is a rubber coated keycap right here. As you can see, they got that nice texture outside of there, really nice. Your fingers are not gonna move on these guys no matter how slippery they are. But underneath of this one I have here, at least, they are basic ABS. Very, very lightweight and very flexible. But again, you have that rubber coating on the top and they sound incredible on a board. It just dampens that sound a whole lot and they sound and feel incredibly awesome. Now, I used to use these things primarily on my WASD, but again, that little texture after a while, it did start getting a little bit annoying on my fingertips right there and I had to take them off. Next up here, what I like to talk about is a die sub keycap. These are the HK Gaming die sub keycaps, and let me tell you what, these things are incredibly solid. No matter what I do, I cannot flex these things at all, not one single bit. So again, it's a PBT keycap. As you can see right there, it is quite thick, very thick exactly. And when you look at the legend right here, as you can see, we have an N. So talking die sub, think of it as a keycap tattoo, right? That legend is actually printed down into the keycap right there. And then most of them get a little coating on the outside over it right there, kind of like a sealant or a protective layer or something like that. But again, think about die sub again as like a tattoo on your keycap. It's just printed into there. So that legend is never, ever gonna fade out on you. And I noticed die-sub keycaps are usually the strongest because they don't have two coatings on it. It's just a very nice, thick PBT keycap right there. And again, these HK Gaming ones are incredibly strong. Now the last type of keycap I'd like to talk about right here. This is a double shot PBT keycap from Amazon. Just those basic $20 sets you can find, and they're pretty solid actually. They're really nice. Some of them you can find some funky fonts, you know what I mean? As you can see, this one, the fonts are a little bit bigger, which I honestly like, but they feel the exact same. They're very, very durable. Now, one thing you can see different, as you can see right there into the keycap, they almost start like the pudding keycaps, right? The second layer starts up into the keycap there rather than filling the entire outside right there. But again, they're still very, very durable. One quick note on these Amazon keycap sets, as you can find the cheap ones out there, some of the keycaps will not be balanced very well. They'll be a little shaky here and there. This one's not bad at all, but with this set I got right here, the space bar is just horrible. It is incredibly warped. So that's the only downfall as far as going with like a cheaper set of keycaps. Some of them may be a little bit different, a little bit warped here and there, and some of the legends are sometimes a little bit wonky, but nothing bad at all. I've got a few cheap Amazon sets of keycaps right there, just random ones, and they're pretty stinking good for the money.